All right, we are live again in Doomsday's Krypt, and I'm here with Matthew Mark Hunter, and we're going to be talking Nightmares Unleashed, new project from this guy, young talent. Well, over 200 films already been done by this guy, so eager, driven, and you got this new campaign. Let's hear about it.
My name is Matthew Mark Hunter of MMH Productions. I've been making full-on films since I was 17, back in 2017. I'm 22 now, and we've created over 220 films since then. We're bringing out Nightmares Unleashed. It is a feature film based on our short film version of the same title back in 2018. Um, It's a story about a young girl, Raven, who's watching horror films, and one day, while she's watching it, a jester comes in and grabs her and pulls her into the TV, and she has to face her nightmares or the movie she's watched. And each time she finishes and completes and gets away from these monsters and creatures and crazy people, she inserts into a new movie she watched, which is going to be a new genre of horror film. So we have her going through slasher, sci-fi, 80s style, musical horror, where we've written brand new original songs for the cast to sing in the scene. Um, we have two haunted houses we're filming at. We're working on a ballroom now for our Vampire Masquerade. It's going to be a huge project for us, but we're going to complete it. And we have two film shoots completed already. We got the film title and the script story itself copyrighted under law by my name. So now we're just grinding out to get ready for this summer.
Well, good for you. That's good that you got a copyright on it because it's a great name, and I love the concept of all these different things, all the way to vampires and stuff. Sounds like a little bit of the TV thing almost reminds me a little bit of the Rings back in the day. Always a creepy scene. I saw a little bit of the trailer. We'll talk about that, but it looks like a lot of things that influenced you in horror. You're kind of putting together, create this really cool idea and bring it to the screen, man. I like it.
Yeah, the TV idea originally was an idea I got from Videodrome when the
Okay.
girls on the screen.
Yep.
So what we did was there's like a black fabric from the old box TV. We had to take the box TV apart, of course. And then you see like my hands stretching out for her. And the original was just black, one shot time only once we cut it to come out. For the new one, we're going to try different techniques. So we're going to do a black TV, box TV with a black screen, and we're going to do one with a green screen just to see if we can figure out different techniques for our visual effects moment. But then the rest of the film's full on practical effects, kills, the gore, blood, scenes of like harpoons going through her body, arms coming off. It's all going to be practical effects. But yeah, I mean, each like originally for like the sci-fi scientist, it was going to be like black and white film noir. But then when we got to the actual haunted house we were filming at, they had like black lights, potions glowing in the background, all this cool stuff, and we decided we're just going to leave it in color and leave it just sci-fi instead of film noir because we want to show all that color popping everywhere for the scene.
Yeah, I like the black light vibe too. A lot of these things I got back behind me that Michael Tozu's here. We've been doing the black light, and every once in a while, and I got to do a stream like that with the black lights. I love it. Makes things pop. So I get the idea to go from the black and white to the black light. I bet you it's gonna look really cool. Give that extra oomph.
Yeah, it's gonna look real sweet. It's kind of like what they did for the new Monsters type of idea. All the colors.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So is this the biggest project you've taken on to date?
Um, Overall, yeah. I mean, because usually, the feature films we've done are like anthology types. While this one's in a sense an anthology, but we also have the same actors coming back for the shoots. Where anthology, we have different casts each different days, and then like the short films, we shoot everything in one day and we're done. The feature anthologies, we shoot one story every day, move on to the next one a different day. But this one we spread across different months. We started in November 2022 filming. We have a film shoot planned in May, two in June, July, and we have to get one more scheduled. So we're taking our time at its sense to make everything right. But I've been doing the pre-production since 2020 on the film itself, getting costumes and locations ready, just so when we're time to film, it's 1, 2, 3, let's film it.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you find it's easier to film it like with the anthology type vibe? Have people come in, film that one thing, and then you kind of feel like you're creating something else the next time, so it doesn't have to be continuation. It's three different stories, but with this one being like three different stories, you kind of say, but they're all the same actors, all tied in together. Does that
It's
affect like your mindset when you're filming?
it was more affecting of scheduling conflicts, because when you're doing like the normal anthology, you get the cast and crew you need for this day, they shoot, and then that's it. But when we're working on Nightmares, for our leads, we have to make sure the dates are scheduled for all their same things to fit, so we can shoot all their stuff separate days. So it's mostly just working with all their schedules. I sent out the dates. We had one actress who we had to drop because she said there was no way she could make our schedule for it, even though we have it planned months ahead from June. We haven't shot anything with her, so it was all professionally done, but the dates are set, so we're trying to make it where the lead cast was okay. The crew already called off, so we just had to change one thing instead of redoing everything, finding a shoot, because the summers are already getting packed as it is every weekend.
I can believe it, man. What was it gonna? Oh, what got you started in filmmaking? You're such a young guy. Was it something like you and your dad bonded over, or your mother, or your family, and you guys just watched a lot of horror as a kid? A Big Brother or something that would show you the horror movies you weren't supposed to watch? What got you into horror?
It was my parents. I started at a very young age, like when I was like 3 and 4 and 5. They would just put a tape in, watch it. I know the one I really remember was watching Freddy vs. Jason when it first came out. I believe I was like 7 or 8 when it came out, and I was just drawn into that film. Like, it's the one I know. I feel like I first watched ever, but they said I've seen a lot before. But that one really got me interested in it a lot more. The first thing they did was show me the bonus features behind the scenes. Hey, it's all fake. None of this is actually real. Here's the guy getting his makeup done. And then ever since that, even before that, I knew everything was fake. We used to go to haunted houses all the time as I was a kid. So just knowing right away that all the horror films are fake, no matter what's going on the screen. My mom grew up in the era where, in her family, said they could watch whatever they wanted. So sometimes my dad would say, let's not watch that. But then when he would go to work or leave, my mom would put it in and we'd watch it, type of thing. So it was a no holds bar for the filming or whatever we had to watch. But going to school at a young age and then being the only kid who can say, hey, I know how everyone died in Freddy vs. Jason, how they died in what order. You get in a little bit of trouble with the teachers, with the other kids. But then I learned about Full Moon and Puppet Master in 7th grade. And that was my first official film. It was like a fan film I did for extra credit for a project. All the kids thought I made the puppets myself. They didn't know anything about anything for the horror project films. And then that's when I got my mom's 90s VHS camcorder with the actual tape you put in, and you got to take it out and put it on the VCR to rewind and edit. So that's how I edited my first film, and we still use that today for some stuff too.
Yeah, it gives it the old gritty look. I mean, those are the camcorders I grew up with. Believe it or not, I'm over 20. So I seen those cassette ones. I grew up with actually that's how I watched Friday the 13th Part 6 the first time, with the camcorder, watching on the road to Canada. But yeah, I think the old style cameras could be a lot of fun to shoot with and use in a certain sense, where it does give that old vibe. You shoot it with one of those cameras, and if you still have one that works, it can give that texture, that maybe filming can kind of bring to the screen, especially if you're going to try to shoot, say, 80s style. When you see one of those camcorders, it's from the 80s, maybe early 90s. You just know.
Oh yeah, I got 3 or 4 of them. I have like the main one I've used since my mom's was like my favorite, because it was the first camera I ever touched. I'm obsessed with it. So it's like my pride and joy. Like, if I have people on set using my cameras, they can use the Blackmagic to film with the Canon, but I don't want no one touching my VHS camcorder baby, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee those things. Like a lot of people started throwing them out, but they'll be one of those things that people are gonna be like, "Oh man, back those things are worth a lot of money now." So it's cool that you protect your equipment, especially if you're using it for your films. That makes a ton of sense. And you said you love practical effects. I'm with you. I don't mind some CGI if it improves practical effects, but I grew up in the practical effects era of the late 70s, early, throughout the 80s was my big thing. So horror was my life, practical effects were my life, Savini and all that stuff was just great to watch what they did and put on screen. It's like, man, it looks real. And back in the day, watching a movie back then was so much different than watching a movie
Oh
now.
yeah, I'm all
And
about the practical full like that's part of the 80s style I do also is I rather have I have tubes that we squirt blood out of rather than just putting like blood and like popping at the screen and things. So the actors on set will get bloody in the film, and then you'll see it's consistent throughout too. Though, like some of the newer films, they have like the fake blood, and then the blood isn't where it should be, type of thing on the actors. While when we do in the practical, the blood's going to be on them for the rest of the film where it needs to be. But yeah, the only full on like visual effect is we're making one of the masks on a computer and 3D printing it, so it's original type of mask. And then, of course, if we do the green screen idea with the TV, if it works well, we might do that. Or I thought about doing a very small part where it's live action happening with me pulling her in. And at the same time, it cuts back and forth from that to like an animation 3D style type of thing, back and forth before she goes into the realm. But yeah, all the gore and fun stuff's going to be impractical.
yeah, I wish I learned more about how to do the hands-on practical effects. I'm envious of the ones who get to do it. Just looks like so much fun to do. And you're acting in the movie too. So obviously, you kind of said that. What's it like? What do you enjoy most? The writing, the directing, the acting part, or a little bit of everything, kind of, having your
Um,
stamp all over it.
I'm on to like a little bit of everything. When I first started out before Nightmares, Nightmares is the first full film where I actually have someone on a camera, someone on audio, someone on lights. While all the other like shorts I did or other projects, it's me doing camera, directing, adjusting lights, and doing audio if needed. So recent films we've had, I actually said I need camera operators, and especially for Nightmares because I want to focus mainly on directing the actors and making sure everything goes smoothly with the crew. Being able to get crew was probably one of the best things, especially audio, because the early films it was like a Best Buy type of camcorder from like 2010s, and we use that all the time. And when we started out, me and my friends would make a film every weekend in the summer from 2017 to 2020. Almost every weekend, we'll get the camera out, we'll film something, filmed on locations we weren't allowed to, type of thing. But yeah, I mean, I like, of course, writing the script. I direct it, and then editing. Of course, I get to see how I want it to edit and how it looks. I have a special way of editing. I tend to make things a little bit longer than they should be, which I'm trying to work on for Nightmares. But I've always loved acting. Um, Back in school for my high school film school, I didn't really get to make any of my projects just because the horror aspect. I was mostly acting in all the projects, acting as a creep, psycho, a killer, a weirdo, or a druggie, just because of the hair and things like that. So I never
You
fully got
got
to do much.
typecast, man. You
Yeah,
got
no.
typecast at a young age. Ridiculous.
And then
Us long hairs, we get the shit on all the
I know,
time,
especially
man.
because I had the hat on too for
Oh,
the films they had me wear. And then yeah, so it's just now I can act because I'm the only one who's coming back from the original short film to the feature as the same role. We tried reaching out to some of the others, but we had no luck. Even if they had like background roles, we wanted them somewhere in the film, but we got no one back from the original really, which is sad, but it just happens.
when did the original come out?
2018.
Okay, so it's been 5 years. A lot of things change for people, but I'm guessing some don't act or just on, busy or whatever's going on. But it's cool. At least you attempted to bring them all back, but it also gives you a chance to do it all fresh and can look at it in a positive light. And I think that's a cool way to see it. And I'm sure you've been built, like you said, you've been doing a lot of this stuff yourself with the hands-on with everything. It's got to give you that extra knowledge that you need, especially at a young age, of knowing what goes into each person's job and what they need to be doing. Instead of kind of knowing what they're doing, you've actually done each job, whether it's acting, directing. I mean, obviously, even if you wrote a movie and you had a different director, you know how to let somebody direct if you got a role that you're going to be concentrating on just that. It sounds like you got a well a good understanding of practical effects. Do you like to do those yourself as well?
I have people who do the more like makeup looks. Like if we're doing like monster looks, of course I need a makeup artist because I'm not fully good in doing that. I do pick up stuff every time. After you make so many films, you get the makeup artist. I keep watching how they do it, and then of course I do it at home, practice on myself and things. So I pick up some things, which is how I picked up the practical effect knowledge, learning from them. So that I do more like blood splatter work. I can do that like the back of my hand, blood here or there, tubes, making it look real. But then if we're talking about monster makeup and stuff, I need to hire a makeup artist for that stuff because I want a good professional job done than just my little hack job of stuff I can do. Like I can do like cuts and stuff, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, hey, as long as you got knowledge of everything and got an understanding of it, that's a big thing, man. That goes a long way in filmmaking. Look at Damien Leone. He not only wrote and directed, I always use him as an example because he wrote and directed Terrifier 2, and they did it on $250,000 budget. There's no way they could have done that if he wasn't hands-on in so many things into that film. So it's good you have that knowledge, being that young guy, and the opportunity, I think, for guys like you in the indie community and as a filmmaker in horror, I think it's as hot. Horror is as hot as it's ever been since the 80s. The indie market, I mean, it's never been hotter. So I think the opportunity is there if you got the right script, the right team built around it, and there's a good potential for this film. And I know you got a lot of people on Facebook that are even the ones who reached out to me about your potential and talent as a filmmaker. So good luck to you, man. I'm excited for you, and I wish I was 21 again and doing. The indie community was where it is now because there's just that opportunity. Like I said, it's got to be an exciting time for you, man.
Especially with all the technology and sharing and different social medias out there too from now than what they had back then also is a real game
Oh.
changer on getting people involved.
Well, you've seen those old camcorders, man. Those things weren't cheap back in the day. Those were expensive. You had to be the rich dude to have one of them things. Not everybody owned one like today. Everybody's got a camera that fits in the palm of your hands that film's actually pretty good. I mean,
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, the quality is, and I've heard other like indie people, if you got a decent and talented filmmaker say, if you got at least a good camera and a good sound, you can do a lot today compared to what you would have had to spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, which just to get started with the stuff, not
Yeah.
even like to get started like you can now. But when was your first movie and how did that get released? How did that come about?
The first film I did was the Puppet Master fan film in 7th grade. Then I went to a summer camp my freshman year of high school, and it was like a week-long thing at Cuyahoga Valley Career Center. And I did that for a week in the summer, and I filmed one of my other shorts, Cricket Boy, as a kid. I used to write all my shorts on my typewriter I have, because I just like the feel of it better. So I'd always write the scripts on a typewriter, which I wrote my first feature on a typewriter, and I transferred it over to Celtex. Then I got accepted into Cuyahoga Valley Career Center my junior year of high school. So I'd go to high school half a day, hate it, then go to the other film school for the other half and just only focus on that and worry about that. Get the grades in that school and just do the other school when it's whatever.
Just to try to keep up and so you could do the other school. I was going to
Yeah.
ask if you did any film school and since you're on the Puppet Master one and that was your first, I get, it's great. You consider it your first film. Well, you said a lot of people were like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Was it kind of like after that released with your peers at 7th grade? Were you always the horror guy, the guy they kind of came to for any horror questions? Maybe, are you doing another film? Can I be in it? Or something like that? Or did any of that work out in a sense? Or people you still talk to from 7th grade that?
In a sense, it wasn't like it was like where we had the project was to write a short film idea, and then we got extra credit if we actually filmed what we wrote, and no one in the class did it besides me actually make something. Um, I just had my cousins over and my mom, and I just shot them dying by like the little small version of the figures of Puppet Master toys. So you'd see like in the screen like uh, what is it? What is that?
Like
The
the strings.
Yeah, you'd see like the dental floss
Dental
string
floss.
pulling one of the puppets across, and you see the whole thing. Um, but the I didn't really get too much talk about it. I was always bullied throughout middle school, and bullied really like freshman year of high school too, just because of my weight and other things. Because I was a lot bigger back then, and you could see it in the film too. But I mean, it wasn't. I had like one friend from then who still is in the projects with me and films with me. Um, and now I'm the godfather to his kid too, so we still hang out and talk to each other from 7th grade, which is always great to have. But it really kicked off when going to Cuyahoga Valley Career Center my junior year. I did my first official, I say, short film because we actually had crew and cast from the school. And when we did that, then it's really people wanted to be involved in the horror films.
That's cool. It sounds like once you got to that film school, it kind of just changed your whole life right there. And you're around people that you had a lot more in common with than growing up in middle school. Trust me,
Oh,
all
yeah.
did it. And some of us were bullied, some of us were bullies. You change a lot, but at least you found something that it had that outlet with film school. Was that something your parents really encouraged? Was that 7th grade film of the Puppet Master that you did, like your parents going, our son's got some talent. He's got a lot of, you know, energy towards this. It's his passion, and we're going to support it the whole way. Or were they kind of saw it before that? I'm just kind of curious with that.
Growing up, like as a kid, I always wanted to be a veterinarian, I'd say. Um, but I think after doing that, and I tried to do another film right after my cousins again, Killer Toys, and it was it was hard because they didn't want to do it halfway through, so it just was not recorded, finished it all, and then I didn't do any filming up until the freshman year summer camp when it opened it back up to me saying I'll do this again and see what happens because I didn't film anything from that second failure thing with the cousins who don't I don't want to do it, and then once the freshman year came and I went to the summer school, I was like, yeah, I need to do this for real. But they were always supportive of me no matter what I did. So as soon as I did the film, they were right on board with all my projects. My parents are even in some of the films still to this day. So my whole family's supportive.
That's great to hear, man. So was it the second film that it didn't work out, or was it maybe just the age and kind of like, oh, well, it's nah, I'm just done with this for a little while, or was it just not even conscious? You didn't film anymore for a while, or was it an intentional thing? Like, oh, this just isn't for me. It's
I,
frustrating, that whole project, or
I think it just happened because I was still like 13, 14. So I
yeah,
was also doing other stuff at the time as a
right.
kid, living like a kid, just having fun as a kid. I'm an only child, so it was fun growing up like that. But I'd still have horror stuff. I collect horror figures. I went to horror conventions at that age still. So was there always horror with me throughout my life, but it was just put away because I was doing other stuff just as a
You
kid
were
too.
being a kid and yeah, still doing fun things, but maybe just on the back of your head. And when the opportunity came to go to that school, you're like, I'm ready to start this again and do this. I mean, that's great though, because it's not everybody young. I know me, I was a meathead. It took me till I don't know 45 to finally get my head straight. So the last 2 years, I've been doing great, doing great. No, but it's good you were focused. You went to school and you found something you were passionate about, even though your middle school or high school it wasn't really your thing. That one school you were able to go to. It sounds like it was a great thing for you, and it's awesome it was there, available for you to go to. That had
Yeah,
to
because
be
only certain schools in the area of the school was located got picked. So the school districts only 5 were picked, and I'm in Garfield, so the two next to me, Bedford and Maple, weren't even allowed to go there, type of thing. They were only selected certain schools. So luckily, Garfield was one of the 5 schools that was picked to be in there. Thankfully, I went to that school, or I never would have even probably done filmmaking in general.
I'm thinking Facebook users asking, where can we see some of your cult films? Some people are asking, is there any way to see some of the films you've already released out? Um, Obviously, we'll be talking Nightmares Unleashed, but is there a way? Is there a streaming service, or do you have physical media, a store, or something where if somebody wants to check out your work, they can see it?
We have a lot of our like films when we were shooting the films every weekend in the summer thing as kids growing up. Those are all on YouTube. Some of my short films nowadays are on YouTube. Festival screen films are on YouTube. There's 20. I have 20 films on DVD. They aren't on like YouTube to watch because I make my own DVDs. I do the DVD artwork, disc labels. I make the DVD menus. I get the cases. I do my own distribution for the DVDs at conventions and festivals. But I have some on my eBay. People usually just reach out to me on Facebook asking which ones I have on DVD. Then they go through PayPal or Cash App. But we have some of the big films on Trauma Now streaming, but a lot of the films are on YouTube. Most of the films are on YouTube besides like the huge big ones.
Okay.
Like the original Nightmares is on YouTube also.
Have you considered Tubi to release anything? I know you print it all out, and there's so many people with physical media that they love it and they don't care about the streaming stuff. But there are people like I found Tubi's been really great with the indie community. What's the other one? Plex has been pretty good. Is it something you consider? You're a physical media guy? You want all your stuff on physical media that you kind of put out?
I do all the physical media, but I've looked into Tubi many times. The only thing is I have to have the closed captions done for the films, and it's there has to be a time limit for the films to be for the Tubi. And some of them reach the point, and then it's just a process of doing all the closed captions for the film, which is really the part that takes a while. And with being so busy, like if I could, like I probably am going to end up paying someone to do subtitles for Nightmares Unleashed because I want that one out there. And then our other big one, I'd probably have it on Tubi, is Danny Hall, the Killer Crab Elf that we did. That's on YouTube also. It's one of the only big real feature films that are on YouTube also. But the bonus features are only on the DVD type of way. That's how we did it.
Yeah, to keep it where the people want the physical media. But like I said, a lot of people love the physical media. I love physical media myself. I know my artist who's here, Michael Toth, loves physical media. The problem I have where I wish I could have all the physical media is I'm always going back and forth from a few houses and whatnot because of work, and to lug DVDs or Blu-rays over from one house to the other. It's nice to have my PlayStation 5 or even my computer, and I can watch something anywhere, anytime. And then I don't have to change the disc either. I don't want to be breaking my back, hurting my arm, taking one of those discs out, putting it, how strenuous that can be.
Oh yeah. I have
Yeah.
thousands of DVDs on physical media. I wish more of the films on Blu-ray were on DVD than just Blu-ray, because I prefer DVD over Blu-ray, because then I can use the DVD anywhere instead of just like Blu-rays can only be on a Blu-ray player. So I have like a bunch. I have like thousands of DVDs from horror films, dollar store ones, which I'm slowly going through. If I don't like it, I'll probably resell it. And then I have a whole VHS collection also of horror films and films in general.
I gotta address my artist here, and I know it's him. Geez, brag about your PS5 more, fool. You got a PS. Everybody's got a PS5 now. They're available. It wasn't like I ran out to. This guy is always busting my chops. That's what you get when your best friend's your artist, and just sits there and just ranks on me, man. Fuck. But let's show you a trailer from the Indiegogo campaign, so I can have this fool bust on my chops in the comments section there. Friends like him, who needs enemies, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All right, yeah, let's play this up, man.
My name is Matthew Mark Hunter of MMH Productions in over 220 films since 2017. Today I'm bringing you the Indiegogo for Nightmares Unleashed.
We'll give it the full view for the audience.
Nightmares Unleashed was originally a short film back in 2018. I shot it for my Cuyahoga Valley Career Center's senior film project, and it got a couple awards. It was a top 10 film for 6 weeks in a row, won for Best Originality. I started writing a newer, longer sequel for it in 2019, 2020. We got the script copyrighted for the title. So Nightmares Unleashed, the title's copyrighted and the storyline's copyrighted. We started shooting recently, and now we're hoping to get some funds so we can continue making this film. My dream inspiration, my child film, my baby. I've been doing pre-production work for the last 2 years on it. We have all the dates planned for other film shoots, so we're excited to finally get going this summer. And these funds are going to help us get the last made of costumes, because all the costumes and props are majority created by local artists and local businesses. We wanted to go full original. So the fund's going to help pay for the costumes, the props. Majority of the funding actually is going to go to hotel accommodations for our cast and crew. And we're going to work on getting good makeup, good prosthetics, good practical effects. And of course, we want to have a great post-production. We want to do a lot of promotion, a lot of screenings, festivals, all the jazz. Get this film out there so everyone can see a brand new original style horror feature film. Now, what we're doing for the feature film, however, is we're combining multiple subgenres of movies into one large feature film. So the storyline is a young girl, Raven, decides to watch a VHS tape that comes in the mail. This is actually a setup by our antagonist, Joseph the Jester, who pulls her into the TV realm, and she has to escape her nightmares or the film she's watched. So every film she goes into a different subgenre of a horror movie. So one part's going to be a musical horror. We have sci-fi, 80s style, slasher, 40 perks available for everyone so they can get screen use props, thank you credits on every single perk, associate producer, executive producer, all kinds of jazz. The sponsorship credit, which is our $2,500 deal, gets your name on every single DVD we create and the final poster we're going to make. So your name will forever be involved with Nightmares Unleashed on all promotionals. We're shooting in haunted houses, the Mohican Haunted House and the Haunted Hydro, both here in Ohio. They open their doors for us to film at, so we're very excited to show those locations. We're working on getting a grand ballroom or a ballroom sort for our Vampire Masquerade, which is the musical. We have a cornfield, a gazebo, of course, regular houses, and we have woods and forests for our witches and zombies. We decided to create a newer video every day the last week to promote different aspects of the film. We have one dedicated to costumes, makeup, props, locations, and things of that nature just to get more out there. So this project will get created no matter the circumstances. If we don't hit the goal, I'm going to use whatever remaining funds I need for hotels and food will come directly out of my pocket. This is to help me make this the best it can be in terms of props and costumes and getting the best locations we can. Even maybe some guest names if possible. So please, if you can help out, donate any amount or just please share it. We also like to get out on podcasts, interviews, horror sites, and things of that nature. So if you know anyone or you do want run one, please let us know. We'd love to talk and just get the film out there. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy and help out on Nightmares Unleashed.
Should I play this one? Oh, it plays automatically. There we go.
Yeah, this is one of our practical effects we did.
Yeah, I pulled it up on my full screen. Just check it out. Pretty cool.
Hey Matthew, this package came in. Is it yours?
You know, I order a lot of crap from offline. Does it have a return label on that by chance?
Doesn't say.
How about you go ahead, go on into the living room, put it in. I'm gonna head to the kitchen, make us a couple PBJs, grab some A-class sibling bonding. How's that sound?
That sounds really good.
Awesome.
That was a cool scene. The little girl did a great job there. You both did. Let me make sure it doesn't play to the next one here, if I can figure this out. Hold on a sec. There we go. Very cool, man. Very cool. Let me pull us back up because I know you got you ready to kind of get everybody in the mood for this film for Nightmares Unleashed. I like the trailer. Really interesting stuff. I love the concept of the locations you want to shoot. Like I said, the different genres from sci-fi to universal monsters, I'm guessing, and slashers. I don't want to say Fear Street where they kind of did different like areas because it's different, but you know, a mixture of everything, not just like, okay, we got a slasher or we got a suspense movie or a sci-fi movie. You can have, you know, it sounds like the type of movie you could have a slasher in it, and you could also have some aliens coming down and abducting your socks like Al Bundy had to deal with. But yeah, it's interesting. I love the idea of a whole bunch of different genres coming and meeting one on this film, brother. So
Yeah, it was because the short film was only 15 pages of the script, 15 minutes, 20 minutes long, and the new one's 70 minutes. So of course we have to all the care like the witches, worm zombie, witches, the vampire scene, and the scientists were from the original, and they're all, of course, being revamped for this one. But then we added the cult of the scarecrow. We have cult members in a scarecrow. We added the fisherman killer at the gazebo, which is the camp counselors slasher part. We added, of course, the funhouse, haunted house at the end scene, and we are adding different things. So there's so many like zombie films. So even though there's zombies in the film, I didn't want a whole large like crew section of zombies. So there's only like 3 zombies that appear in the woods at one scene, and then our lead worm zombie. Because we also, instead of that, we have a giant killer tree we're making for the project, which is going to come to life also. So we have a costume we're working on right now, which is like a almost 6'5" giant costume of a giant moving tree that we have someone going to be in it, coming at her also for the scene. So we're doing a lot of weirder monsters also for the project.
yeah, it sounds interesting, man. Whenever I think of monster trees, I think Poltergeist. And that was always this creepy scene as a kid watching it with the tree and the pool and all that other stuff. So that should be a fun one to do, to having some, you know, a demonic tree, I guess you'd call it. Would that be the way to go?
Tree. Yeah, we're just calling it the killer tree for now.
Killer tree for now. I think that's pretty sweet, man. It's like I said, you're doing a lot of variety in this film, so a little bit of for everybody. You got the sci-fi, now you got the killer tree, the carnival or the circus. Did you say carnival or circus? Circus, right?
It's like a fun house, but it's actually in the haunted house, so it's a full haunted house. We're getting the whole outside segment of the haunted house, which is like their woods area, and we have the whole inside they allowed us to film in. So it's like the end scene where it's her final confrontation and she runs into all the monsters again, but it's like the final like level type of idea of like a game, like the final boss level. So like Misty the spider mistress, who's at the ballroom scene with the vampires, she eventually teams up with the scientist and he ejects her something. So before, she's just wearing a Victorian nightgown. She has 8 eyes, just a normal lady. And then when we see her at the end, we have a full giant spider getup she's going to be in, crawling towards Raven at the end. Like she's turned into a mutant spider now also. So we went full out with the costumes in general. Like the scarecrow, we had a custom made mask made for it, so the whole mask is all original.
Oh, cool.
And then the costume for the scarecrow and getting the stilts, the scarecrow is $800 worth of costume work. Joseph the Jester I'm wearing now is so far $70 because we're stitching all the diamonds on, making the costume. We're still working on one arm of it, but it's all hand sewn together, everything you see. we're working on
$70, you got a good deal on that. That's a
I have a-
nice outfit for $70. There's a
I
lot
have
of
a
work I'm sure
yeah.
went into it.
That's just for the materials we had to get so far. I think we had to get extras, but I know we have a giant spider suit in my room that's like the giant butt. We have the arms attached to it. The tree costume so far is around 400 we spent on it. So a lot of budgeting has gone into the costumes just so they actually look really good. And instead of just buying like Spirit Halloween get-ups, we're actually making it original. Because I know the original Joseph costume was just Puppet Master's Jester costume from the Full Moon line of costumes. So instead, we're redoing it all hand in different colors and a different look a bit. So the costumes alone, the pants and the shoes, the hats bought, and the gloves are bought, but the main parts are what's being created for everything.
We got a few comments. You have the best perk spread he's seen in any Indiegogo campaign. So that is a big positive on the Indiegogo campaigns. The ones who do the perks right goes a long way.
Yeah, we have, I believe, 42 perks now and 5 add-ons we included. And then I know, like for the add-ons, we had it where the DVD perk to get the DVDs like $25 regular, and then there's actually an add-on for $20 for the DVD. So if you got like the special credit, you can just get the DVD for $5 cheaper, say, getting the add-on. And a lot of the perks are add-ons also, but most of the perks are like screen used items. So we have like Azazel's mask that's being 3D printed. There's a whole video talking about that, but we're giving away that one from the film on the Indiegogo. We're giving away the Scarecrow's hat he wears and the chalice they use in the project. Misty's tray, Anthony's eyeball, which is all local business studios.
Oh, cool.
We have his ear still that was made. So everything's, I'm trying to, and a lot of it's like reasonable pricing. When you get to like of course, the associate executive and sponsor credits, it's going to be bigger, but it's going to be well worth it in the long run because you get everything in the Indiegogo with that credit that you're going to name on everything forever from Nightmares Unleashed. And then we're hoping it does at least good on the festival circuit because we already have a sequel written and we're going to be shooting things for the sequel while we're shooting things now while we have the cast.
There you go. My buddy CJ Vecchio, he's out in Chicago, which is not too far from Ohio. But he owns the Chicago Film Festival out there now, so you should definitely hit him up. Somebody was asking, how are you doing? Are you close to that the disaster that happened in Ohio? So if you are, stay safe. I guess a few people were concerned about that in the chat. So
I'm an hour away from the train accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm an hour away from all the train accident that happened.
Situation for everybody. So anybody who is there, who happens to be watching Ohio, stay safe. I know it was a tough situation. Also, yeah, somebody wore that hat you got, or a jester hat. I could see that snowboarding. I'd say that's pretty cool going down the slopes.
Yeah, the hats that we based the colors off for the new costume. So we had to get the red, the blue fabric, and then we have green fabric to match the hat this time. And then I had to get like lime blue pants, red jester shoes. So it's a whole thing. But we're glad we still have that's the hat from the original too. So we're bringing some stuff back.
Very, very cool. Now, if you want, we'll go since Paul or Silent Shred brought it up. You want to check out the perks? You can go over some of the ones you got that maybe we didn't touch on.
Okay,
we can
that's
look
sweet.
at it and yeah. And if you see one, oh man, now this thing's doing everything wrong here. Hold on a second. I can't believe this. I can't stand not having my mouse. I got the microphone and the camera taking up all my USB ports, and this sucks. All right, there we go. I think. Let me. Oh my goodness, it has a mind of its own, I tell you.
Yeah, we started Indiegogo for 60 days, and I believe we're almost down to the 40-day count. And so far, we've gotten $235 out of our 10K ideal budget. So we're glad that I was able to afford one costume, which is good. But we're hoping that something happens soon or even before the deadline ends to get something.
And the deadline is yeah, you got 45 days left, guys. Let's help these young filmmakers out. We're gonna go to the mega pack, the DVD, the CD, the T-shirt, the script.
Yeah, so the DVD is usually 25, CDs are 10, T-shirts are 25, and the scripts are 50. So that alone, we have a mega pack, so it's a cheaper deal for everything. And we also have a triple pack where it's the DVD, CD, and T-shirt also for $50. So already alone, it's going to be cheaper than just getting everything separate. But it was just a way for us to combine everything into one.
All right, yeah, that's cool. My computer's giving me trouble, and I'm trying not to let it crash. All right, let's go to the next one here.
The video is it's kind of like those cameo video things. So for like the $10, you can either get a thank you credit, or $10 for the same price, you get a thank you credit and a personal video sent by Joseph the Jester to whoever you want. The same thing.
Cool. Then we got the thank you credit and film and CD of music. So CDs, you're getting a CD, you're getting a credit on IMDb too. That's pretty
Yeah,
sweet,
and the film
man.
for 15. Yeah, so all the music's going to be originally written and composed, and it comes with the musical segments, and we're also making vinyls for the project after too.
Are you doing the music, or do you got a friend or somebody hired to do the music?
I have a composer from Italy to do it.
Oh, nice. Because I was gonna say, damn, you do music, you do films, you do the special effects, you do the camera work, you do the acting. You got a lot on your plate there. All right, let's keep going down here. Tickets. All right, welcome to the haunted house.
There's going to be a little ticket, like those long ticket stubs for the haunted house scene, and we're getting a bunch made, so that's how you get that. And all the perks come with the thank you credit also, and the thank you credit alone is $10. So you just add on, like the ticket's just $5 more for the thing, or $5 more for that type of thing.
All right, let me see here. Like I said, my computer's acting super funny here. Nightmares Unleashed TV toy.
We had Bootleg as Fuck Toys make them for us. It's like a TV, a small TV, like the box style TVs, and on the screen is Joseph with the VHS static. So you get a little TV toy for that one with a thank you credit.
Yeah, sounds right. You're right. These are some great perks. These are really some affordable ones. They add up. They're cool perks, and it's helping this film get made. So, did I go too far? No.
No, you're good. That's you get the special thanks credit, and then you get one of the masquerade masks we use for one of the extras on set.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. You're getting something. The IMDb credit. I like your perks so far, man. I really do. I think they're really good. Raven concept art.
Yeah, there's a lot of concept art we had created. We're actually digging through more that we had made to see what we also can just get out there. So my girlfriend did all the artwork for it, for the pre-art. She also designed the Joseph the Jester costume, hand-drawn for us, and digitally drawn it. So then we can send it to the costume designer to go off her designs. So she's big on doing all the artwork for us so far. So we had Raven's concept. We have a Misty concept art of her spider form, and then a cutie pie of one of the clowns.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I like the concept art. I like that one right there too. The cutie pie. All right, Camp Applebrook T-shirt.
Yeah, we have the Nightmares Unleashed T-shirts, which is the poster that's everywhere, the pre-production poster of Raven coming out of the TV with Joseph. Or we have the Applebrook Camp Counselor shirt, which is what the camp is called in the slasher scene. So the two camp counselors have it on. And while Raven is going through every scene, her outfit changes and her hairstyle changes for the scene. So like the vampire room, she'll have a ballroom gown. Camp counselor scene, she has one of the shirts on, and it changes throughout. So, but this way, if you want to get the camp counselor shirt everyone wears in the scene, that's what we're giving away for it. Is the actual, you can get your own Applebrook camp counselor shirt.
And I know how much shirts can cost to make, so $30 is a nice deal, and it helps the film. same thing with the Nightmare Unleashed T-shirt, or is that the one with the Jester on the
That's the
like
one
the
that's
toy?
right next to it. Yeah, that's only
All
available
right.
for the Indiegogo ones.
Okay. Okay. That one's pretty cool. That's a nice perk. A scientist scene group photo.
Yeah, we have it for a couple of the scenes. So every film should we take group photos at the end, and then everyone in the group photo is going to sign one of the 8x10s, and then that's what we give you for a thank you, is everyone sign that. We also have it for 11x14 posters that are signed by me, Raven, and Matthew, the other lead, and some other characters. We have a 16x20 poster, which is everyone from the cast and crew. So if someone's on set doing like a little bit of moving the lights, they get their name written on the poster for helping out. Same for all the scripts. So we did 2 shoots so far, and the scripts are already getting filled up, and we still have a lot more to do. But literally everyone who either helped out or is in the film will sign it.
Yeah, that's really cool. And there's only 2 that you can get, right?
I only
You
printed
can
3 of
get,
them.
yeah.
2 for
Yeah,
that
so
and 1 for me.
guys, that's a sweet one to get, take advantage of. Get all those signatures, and those are always fun to collect.
Yeah, the posters
Especially,
are really cool too. I think we have like maybe 25 or so of the actual 16x20 posters. And then only the sponsorship credits, there's 2 of them, get like a 24x36 that's signed by everyone.
this is the poster 11x14, right? You're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a nice poster.
So
11
it's just
by
$5 more to
14.
get everyone's name on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice, man. That's real nice. Yeah, Silent Shred was right. These are some great perks, dude. I'm really hoping some of these people watching will get out there and support this and get some of these cool perks and help the project out. The Fisherman's Killer's finger lure.
Yeah, for the fisherman killer, he has harpoons. He has a fishing pole that's made out of deer bones, the main part of it. And then all his fishing lures are actually fingers that we have made. And the way he gets his victims is when he throws the wheel out of the fishing, he hooks people's mouths with the fishing hooks, and that's how he reels them in. So we have a bunch of like the finger hooks made so far. And then, of course, we have those going. We're giving
So
away.
it's almost like a finger hooking the person when he casts it out. That's pretty cool, man. I
And we're
like
doing
that.
this. And then below it, we're doing the same thing for Misty's serving tray, which she uses in the vampire scene. So this is what she's using.
Cool. So screen use prop, signed script, the whole cast and crew, over 50 names.
Yeah, that's everyone involved in that, and you get the full 70-page script with the thank you credit.
Very cool. The triple pack, the shirt, DVD, and you're a big fan, Matthew, of the DVDs. You didn't want to do the Blu-ray because DVD's better. So
yeah, I know how to use the making DVD softwares. The Blu-ray ones I'm not full on, so I know I can do DVDs. Bang, spang, done. I've done them forever, and I just prefer them over the Blu-ray because to me it looks the same quality. So
it does. It's just what's the difference? I think Blu-ray just has more memory, really.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit more, but even for the indie film, I mean, it's not like it's a Hollywood film. I'm sure it's going to be the same for indie films. And there's the Misty concept art and then VHS.
The Misty concept art, yeah, that's going to be I'm interested to see how that comes together on screen.
Hard.
I think that'll be really, really cool. Hard, yeah, it'll be a difficult task, that's for sure. That's going to be cool, though. It's going to be cool to see it on screen. Scientist scene costume, that's really cool. I got one of the actresses from another film's stuff, an outfit from them, and that's cool. You hang them up, and they're actually kind of cool on the wall. The eyeball, you already talked about Anthony's experiment eyeball.
Yeah, and the best thing is, like, for stuff like that, it's all made by local artists too. So when I buy it from them, I'm giving my money to local businesses and artists instead of just buying it at a normal store that everyone could buy those. These are all differently made too.
Yeah, it's great that you're using local talent and local friends. I'm big on that. I love seeing the guys that do these do amazing work get the notice that they can and the support they can. So that's cool that you were able to reach out to them and get them involved and give them an opportunity to be part of this film. Become the Jester, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna we have a lot of the hats and shoes, so we're gonna send everyone who buys it the shirt. I mean the hat and the shoes from it, and of course all like the costume perks, like the Scarecrow hat. You can either have it signed by the Scarecrow myself, or if you want it not signed, you don't have to have it signed. So it's whichever one you want. So we have a lot of like the monster costumes, like Joseph's costume, the cult leader's costume, cult member daggers. The Scarecrow hat and chalice is a big one, and then Azazel's mask also is like really good.
And you got the big boy there, 16 by 20.
Yeah, it's the whole cast and crew for that one too.
Nice. Posters from the bedroom. Bedroom artwork and more.
In that the one scene at the end of the Indiegogo preview where he's talking to that girl, Raven, that's her real name. There's 3 of the posters on the wall, and 2 of them are done by my girlfriend who does all the digital art. So she did the Lord's Ladies poster, and then the chick on the ground, she drew that also. So you get all 3 of the posters, and of course DVD and thank you. So most of the perks come with thank you credits, and all the perks come with a DVD, majority of them, just to make more of them.
So I'm just gonna say it, Raven, you got the little pose book up there poster. I think that's a nice little nod.
Yeah, that's one of our films too. We didn't before.
Oh, cool. Feed the Nightmare.
Yeah, we have
you guys gotta eat,
credits.
right? You guys, they expect to be fed on set.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
And then we have art department credits also. So donate like $250 and we'll give you an art department credit on IMDb, because a lot of the masks and costumes aren't cheap to make either. So that goes that you're helping us get the costumes made.
Well, you got some big plans for some big props and special effects. I can imagine it's not going to be cheap. I can only imagine the costs. Let's see here. Let's go. Be a cult leader. Is that just the outfit, or is that like a buy an acting perk? I'm just curious.
It's if you click the little box.
Yeah, let me click on it.
It's the costume used, the DVD, and then you get the screen used dagger. You can have signed or not. I can go grab one of the daggers too.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool though. I wasn't sure, and like I don't. Like, I know it's a big thing for some people. Like, some are like big on paying for parts and some are others. I'm happy with it either way. I think it's really up to the person. So I was just curious because the way it was written out.
Yeah,
sure.
So I know a lot of the things, it's like pay to play credits, and we did that for our last one. But for Nightmares Unleashed, there's really not any full opportunities for pay to play, because it's mostly like the lead roles and like zombies and stuff. But I don't want to have people pay to be in the film and then pay to drive out there and pay for like their plane tickets and stuff. Where when we did Danny Hall, I had it where if you want to be in the film, let me know and I'll write you a scene in the film for free. And a lot of stuff we do is, if you want to be a voiceover in a film, let me know, because we do a lot of stuff of like coming to life. So we'll throw your voice in our other films for free if you just want IMDb credits. So a lot of the on-screen perks that we do in other films, it's just free. Just come on out and you can be in the project type of thing. But Nightmares is so like, has to be fit to the script, where we don't want it outside things that aren't.
It's detailed.
Yeah,
it's detailed. And you don't want things to leak. Every scene's going to kind of serve a purpose.
And these are the cult daggers.
Oh, let me see them. I told you my thing's kind of messing up, so I gotta pull over here. Oh, nice. Let me pull it up for you so everybody can see it on the screen. I don't know what happened here. I'm gonna pull you up on full screen, and people could take a good look at it. That's really cool.
And all the cult member perks, where it's just be a cult member, you get a dagger, because we have a bunch of them. Yeah, the cult leader gets the actual outfit.
Very cool. Exit solo. I think I can do this. The computer's a mess right now. I don't know what I did wrong. I'm not surprised though. Let's go back. I think we're almost done with the perks here, but we'll finish up going through those. Nightmares director's script. Is that like the full script without any editing, or?
That's the script signed by everyone. but it's
Okay.
also the script where all my notes were taken in from every film. So when we're on set, I make little notes. I'll change stuff beforehand that I write in before we film, and all those little notes, all the little shots I want done are in that. There might be like blood marks on it from some of the scenes because I have the script with me. So I get blood on it sometimes. There might be a blood stain on it, but all my little notes and ideas are written in the script.
Okay. That's so it's almost a look into script and your brain at the same time,
Yeah.
huh?
And then you see all the changes I did from the original to what I wrote on set.
Nice. A complete MMH DVD set. So I'm guessing that has a bunch of movies. What, 20?
Yeah, 20 DVDs from our series of all the movies we made, including Nightmares Unleashed. So it's a lot cheaper than normally because some of our films are like $10, some are $20. So it's just a way for us to say, you want the full collection? Here's the best price to get the full collection of
It's like
movies.
$7.50 a movie. That's perfect. That's cheap. I mean, that's a great. I mean, not cheap, but that's a good deal right there for that many movies. Scarecrow Walker. Let me pull it up, make it easier.
That's the scarecrow hat and the chalice used in the film.
Okay.
I would say the mask, but then the mask is way too like a one-in-one thing that will never be made again, and I'm just like too
Keep it in your
obsessed with it.
collection if you
Yeah.
can. You know,
Yeah.
you got to keep
'Cause we
something
have
for
two
yourself.
chalices.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep something in your collection. It's part of your history, man. You got to keep at least something. Let's see here.
It's a 300 mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Not
the art
cheap.
department credit also for props.
That's the one you were talking about earlier. Yeah. Associate Nightmare.
Yeah,
So
and then
associate
the
producer
associate
perk.
producer, executive producer, and then it's the Azazel mask, then the executive producer, and then the co-producer.
Okay. Executive producer. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. I think I got everything. There we go. Location manager credit. I'm guessing like if somebody has, oh, here, we'll take a look at it. You can explain this one.
Yeah, it's going to be, you get the thank you credit, but then you also get a location manager credit because the thing that we're most worried about is getting the ballroom for the vampire scene, which is going to be the most costly part of the film, location-wise. Because we got the haunted houses for very low, like we exchange where I do promo videos for them, and then they let me film in the haunted houses. So it was a good
Awesome.
trade deal, but yeah, the ballroom scene is going to be the real killer of that.
It sounds like you've been really, at least up to this point, really fortunate with some of the locations you've already secured.
Yeah, it's a lot
It
of
seems like some good
who you know
spots.
type of thing, and thankfully people talk to me and they tell me, hey, watch this kid in the air, meet this kid in the area. So one of my makeup artists introduced me to the owner of the 100 house, and then we became good friends. I did a lot of their promo videos, makeup videos for them. Then they say, well, he wanted to be in a film, the owner. I said, well, I'll get you in a film because he's a really good actor. He's owned the haunted house for 30 years. He plays Anthony the Scientist. And then we were able to get the haunted house, and then that's how I met the other owner, the other haunted house, who said I can do promo videos for haunted houses. I did their promo videos, and then I talked to them, and I shot other things at their haunted house also before.
Well, I've learned that too. I'm sure conventions even helped you out. You said you've been doing a lot of conventions since you were young too, and you meet a lot of connections out there. You meet a lot of people that are into the same stuff you are, and a lot of different talented people. Did that go into it, especially the haunted house? I'm guessing you've probably been there a few times.
The haunted
Or
house
maybe
I'd
not.
never been to until I actually met them. There was an event at the Mansfield Prison they were doing for the makeup video. They were asking me to film at Mansfield Prison for them, and I said, okay, I'll go. That's nearby. I've never been there, the haunted prison. I met them.
Yeah.
They were real nice. It was a good connection. It felt good when we first met. It wasn't like awkward or weird. Like we knew it was going to be good. And that was before COVID we actually met. So we've always been close in general. I'll support their haunted house. I like wear the merch. In general, it's a fun environment. And then for the scene at the haunted house, when she's going through outside in, she's seeing like freak shows and clowns before she ends up in there. And instead of getting a bunch of extras, haunt actors at the haunted house are going to be the extras in the scene who are
I
already
was
out.
going to ask if that was how it was going to be, because that'd be pretty cool. I mean,
Well,
you
all
got
the
everybody
actual,
there, and
so
I
all the
guarantee they're
haunt actors-
excited. They
Oh yeah,
got to
all-
be excited.
so we have the actual haunt actors who have experience scaring, have experience acting, are going to be the extras we have instead of normal extras we would usually get. It was a good thing saying we'll get some of your actual scare actors to be in the project because at least they'll be super more realistic. They know how to be clowns because their whole theme's carnival in one section, so it's a win-win in every direction.
That's awesome, man. I'm real excited for you guys. Check out on Nightmares Unleashed. Check out MMH. It's been awesome having you on, Matthew Mark Hunter. Let these people know where they can find you other than Indiegogo. Indiegogo, real easy to do. It's in the description. It's in the links if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. I got them there. Support them on Indiegogo. Great campaign. Is there any other place you'd like them to search you out or they can follow you?
Yeah. If you can't also help the Indiegogo, just sharing is like the best thing we could get. So share everywhere you can. You can follow Nightmares Unleashed on Instagram or Facebook. There's groups. You can follow MMH Productions on Facebook and Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook, Matthew Mark Hunter, and you can go to MMH Productions on YouTube to view a bunch of our horror films, and you can watch the original Nightmares, learn more about Nightmares, because there's like 4 other promo videos we did for the Indiegogo. And then on Matthew and Ophelia's Wonderful World of Fun is my YouTube children's kids show, which is G-rated, no horror. So if you have kids who just like kids shows, then that would be a place for them with puppets talking. But that's a whole different topic.
Hey, but
YouTube,
that's all right, man. It's good to have different stuff, man. It's definitely good to have it.
But yeah, MMH Productions on YouTube, and then just reach out to me on Facebook, Matthew Mark Hunter, or Instagram, MMH Productions, if you want to learn more or get involved in voiceover roles and projects, because we're always open for more people, new people, or just in general, everything. And then we're going to be at a couple places this year. Like we're going to be at Horror Hound Weekend coming up in March. We're going to be at Gross Fest in Pennsylvania and a couple other places.
Awesome, man. Congratulations. Best of luck to you. Silent Shred, I hope it's still available Tuesday. I'd like to see you with that eye. So somebody already interested in that eye, they're going to be snagging it up if it's there Tuesday. So we'll keep it quiet. We won't tell anybody, Silent Shred. Hopefully it'll be there Tuesday for you. But thanks again. Matthew Mark Hunter, MMH Studios. Best of luck with Nightmares Unleashed. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Tomorrow night, Dennis Mallon, same time, same place, and I'll see you there. Peace out.